Hey everybody, we have a pretty awesome, clever little thing here for you. This is a Hitchfire Grill. We're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna go through the features. Obviously it mounts on the back or the hitch of your vehicle, or does it? There are some other use cases. We'll go through the features, the use cases, and we're gonna find out if this is a good fit for you. If it is, we'll call out a little discount code for you can use. That's coming up later on in the video. Here we go. Let's talk for a minute about who this is good for. What kinds of vehicles and use cases does this make a good fit for? So obviously, number one is if you've got something like this where you've got a hitch on the back and you maybe don't have the room inside. Like I've got a full-size off-road cooler in the back of my FJ, so I don't have any room to put this. Well, that's where something like this comes in handy. Something that a lot of guys with trucks have called out to me is, hey, some of these grills get greasy or they have charcoal in them or whatever, and I just don't want to deal with all that in the bed of my nice fancy truck. So you have this as a good fit for that as well. And then you have situations where maybe, like, let's say you have an RV or a motorhome like that one right there, and you don't have the cargo space to put something like this inside. Well, you can hook it up to the hitch, or you can hook it up to the hitch on the back of this and tow it with that. So it's great as an option if you don't have the storage space to bring a larger grill with you inside the vehicle. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking, but wait, this sits outside on the back of my vehicle. What happens if I drive in the rain or through the mud and get my grill dirty? Well, Hitchfire's thought of that, and they do have a protective cover that you can get, and it will cover the grill. And it'll take care of you not having to clean this thing as much as if you were to drive around with it uncovered. So they've got you covered there. So this is it opened up. Now we're gonna focus on the features and the design of this first. And this is fully opened up. One of the things that I wanna show you is that this is almost a full-size grill. This is not a dinky portable grill. It's got pretty good size. In fact, we were able to feed dozens of people with this grill at a recent Electrify Expo event we did in Seattle, and we cooked for all of them right off of it. So size is a factor. You're getting more size here off of a grill that's portable in this way than you would in one that's designed to like throw in a little chest or compartment. You can fold up and or remove the side little table assemblies here, and then you've got handles underneath. So if you want to pull those out, you don't have to travel with them. Let me take you through a couple of the fold up and swing out options that are pretty unique and pretty great about this grill. Okay, first of all, the little side tables that I mentioned earlier do fully fold up inside of the grill like that, and you can shut it down, and then you have a lock on the cover that you can use to lock it. There, it will keep the lid closed. Now, these are designed to swing out. And an important thing to remember is that Hitchfire makes a version that will swing to the driver's side and a version that'll swing to the passenger side. Make sure you get the right one that goes along with whatever you're going to mount this on the back of. Like, for example, if it's a van with double doors, it may not matter, but if it's an FJ like this where the door swings towards the driver's side, you want to open the grill out towards the passenger side. But let me show you how simple it is to unlock this and swing it out. So you've got a couple options here. The first is we're going to remove this pin and we're going to release here, right? And that's going to allow this arm to swing away from my back door so that if I need to open that back door, I don't have to take this grill off. The other little feature here that's pretty cool is that there's a pin under the grill itself. And if I pull that pin out and it stays attached on the little cable, I can swing the grill. So again, all of this is designed so that I'm able to use the grill without having to remove it from the vehicle, and I can still access what's in the back of the vehicle that I've got it attached to. It's pretty well thought out. And I'll also mention that you can travel with this attached to the vehicle. If you secure it, if you latch it back down and put the pins back, you are ready to travel with it locked in place, and it'll do just fine going down the road behind you. Now, to fuel this thing, you've got a couple different options. And I've got a pro tip for you on one of them. But first, option one is, these are the green propane canisters that we've all seen and used in various camping equipment. And this is a propane only grill.
Propane and propane accessories.
But you've got two propane connections, one for each of two of these canisters, one on this side, I've already got that one hooked up, and then one on the other side. And I'll show you here, let me spin the grill around, and I can show you how easy it is to hook these up. So they have covers, I've pulled the cover off. You're just gonna take your propane canister and you're gonna thread it in like that. And we're gonna go just until we get some decent resistance and we're done. Now, lighting it is almost as simple. So you don't need any kind of a lighter or matches or a long-handled strike lighter or anything like that. The igniters are built in to the flame control adjustment. So we're gonna hold it in for a second and you're gonna hear this pop, maybe. Boom. And I can see the little blue flame down inside there, right there. It's getting hot. Our grill is lit. And so you would do that on each of these, one on each side, and you can light both sides or you can light one side. It's up to you. A couple things to call out before we put it to use. Number one is if you do need to remove this, it's pretty easy to remove. One thing that I will point out, you do need to use Hitchfire's extension. This arm will not go directly into my hitch receiver, and I believe they've done that on purpose. So you have two pins. There's a threaded pin here with a pin on the outside of safety clip, and then there's one that goes in here. You remove both of those. You can take the grill off the top first, but also this keeps you from running the grill up against things like a spare tire. The other thing that I'll mention is you can completely disconnect this grill. You can lift it right off of this arm and you can set it on a flat surface and you can cook on that. You don't have to use the hitch connection if you don't want to. And there are 4 rubber feet on the bottom of the grill here, and you've got a decent amount of air space that goes between those feet and the bottom of the grill where it gets hot. But you do need to be mindful that it is a grill and it does get hot, and you don't want to put it on a surface that heat can damage. So just be mindful of that. Also, you've got a temperature gauge on the lid here. So if you're cooking with the lid closed, which a lot of people do, you're going to be able to keep track of the grill temp inside. It's a nice feature that they've added. And the other thing that I'll mention, we're going to level this because it is best to try to have this thing in a level spot before you use it so that things like the grease pan on the back will drain correctly. So we're going to do that. We're going to go find a level spot and then we'll come back to this. All right, so you made it this far. Got a little secret for you. We mentioned that we had a code you could use if you're interested in getting one of these. We will put this in the description, but here it is. It's HF for Hitchfire -PG-15. HF-PG-15. Again, that'll be in the description, and that will work on anything you buy on their website. So use that. Okay guys, that is just about a wrap on the Hitchfire. Thank you for watching, and by the way, we put everything in the description in terms of links and where you can get this stuff. If you guys like this, you know what to do, and we'll see you on the next one. Couple pro tips for those of you that don't like using the little green propane canisters. I did mention that we have a couple different options for you. So alternate option number one is, this is called a growler. This is a little 5-pound propane canister. It's refillable. It's in a case here. As you can see, it looks like the typical grill canister, only they're smaller. And the advantage here is you don't have to carry around a bunch of the little green disposable canisters. It does come with an adapter, but remember that you have 2 inputs, 2 intakes, one on each side of this grill. So you're only going to be able to connect one of these per each side. It won't fit. You have to have multiple connections is what I'm trying to say. The other option is you can use just a standard grill tank on it. Again, as long as you have the right adapter, as long as you have a hose, that'll connect to a typical grill tank. You can go right into the back of one of the sides on this, and you can do it that way as well. So those are 2 options for you if you don't like using the green canisters. And we'll put links to all this as a reminder in the description. Make sure you check that out. But I really do like these little growlers. They're lighter. It's easier than carrying around a big, heavy, full-size propane tank.